That is Jeff Daniels, When My Fingers Find Your Strings. And Jeff Daniels is performing August 1st, next Wednesday, at the Spruce Peak Performing Arts Center in Stowe. And we have Jeff on the line. Hello, Jeff.
How you doing?
All right. How's it going today?
Real good.
Well, I have to tell you, when I learned that you were going to be on the show today, I immediately thought of that Chris Farley skit that you did on SNL.
Yeah.
He was the bumbling, self-doubting interview guy, and I was like, Pitz, this is not the day to impersonate Chris Farley. So
yeah, that was hard for me to sit through because Chris was so funny, just so funny.
Yeah, trying to keep a straight face with that guy, that's a tough one. Okay, so most of us know you as your great work on the big screen, starring in films such as Pleasantville, RV, and my personal favorite, Terms of Endearment. But and you probably get this all the time, but can you tell us, has music been a part of your life as long as acting has?
It has, just not for public consumption. I went to New York in 1976, bought a guitar, threw it in the back of the car, with every intention of focusing on being an actor, and that's what I did. I was not going to do both. It's got to be 100% towards acting, and the guitar and the writing were just things I did in the apartment waiting for the phone to ring to go be an actor again, and sometimes it would be weeks and months. So it helped me stop being, going insane of just being so out of work all the time. And
Right.
It became this great friend, and it's something, the acoustic guitar is something you can get better at. And so, 40 plus years later, we're in the third act of my life. I'm able to go out and play for people, and I truly enjoy it, especially playing with my son's band, the Ben Daniels Band.
Oh, that's great. So in the early days when you were waiting for the phone to ring, playing some music, did you get any music gigs?
A friend of mine, an actor friend of mine at the same off-Broadway theater company played, and we did. We played at a bar in Greenwich Village, not Folk City or Cafe Wawa or anything like that. It was just a bar, and we invited our 12 friends, and that's where you learn that it's not the same thing as going on stage and being an actor. So I did like 2 of those, and then said, acting, that's what I got to do. And I never went back to it. I'm out on the porch, and I would write just because I liked figuring out writing, the process of writing, whether it's writing a play for my theater company or writing songs for the guitar. And it wasn't until 2001 maybe that my theater company in Michigan we always need to raise money. They found out I played because no one knew I played, and pushed me out on stage, and we started raising money. And that's when you learn how to do this in front of people. It was a crash course. I was thrown into the frying pan.
All right, well, that sounds good. Jumping right in there and with no fear, trying to help out the.
Oh, there was fear. Trust me, there was fear.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
I remember a flop sweat all the way down to my belt. It was just horrible.
Oh man! So were you successful in raising money for the theater company?
Oh, they were thrilled. They raised a lot of money, and I needed a shrink. Yeah, it was. But you learn how to do that. What I learned was, first of all, you got to get your chops up on the guitar. So start to get to work if you want to force people to pay to hear this.
Sure.
Get better. And then I did, after about 3 years of working at it, and then you figure out, okay, I know what this is. This is me in a good mood. That's the character you play when you walk out and do this. Because that was one of the things that was so frightening, was as an actor, you have this filter, you have this character, you have other people's words. But with the guitar, it's just me, and I wrote it. So there was an emotional nakedness with some of the stuff that I just wasn't prepared for, and then I had to kind of learn how to do that so that the audience feels it, and who cares if you do or not, which is what actors do.
Well, it's the real you. I mean, it's all you, and you're not playing a role. So.
Yeah, and once you figure out how to give that to people so that they can relate and enjoy it and be entertained by it, then you've got it, and then you go on tour, which is what we're doing now.
All right, so let's talk about that. You and your son Ben and his band are coming to the Spruce Peak Performing Arts Center in Stowe Wednesday, August 1st. Tell me a little bit about what folks can expect.
Well, if they aren't entertained, we failed. So I make sure that if they came out, that they're going to laugh. I'm going to talk to them. There are some stories, but there's a lot of music, and the band kind of comes out in the middle of the first set eventually, and it becomes this kind of celebration of family, of acoustic music. I make them laugh so that when we slip in some of the more moving songs, they're even more powerful. It's a joy to do, and we really go A to Z with the audience as far as keeping the show, moving it around, and variety, and making sure I talk to them. You know.
That's great.
I'm sorry, what was that? What would you say? Which is, be careful, I'm the one with the mic. But I enjoy it. I enjoy talking to the audience, meeting new people. Vermont. We've never played Vermont, so
okay.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, so the place you're going to, Spruce Peak Arts, it's a gorgeous facility.
That's what I hear.
State of the art. There's only 420 seats. It's all wood.
Perfect.
Inside. It's an incredible place, and the setting is equally as nice. I mean, you're in the mountains of Stowe, Vermont. It's a gorgeous spot, and the venue as well. So, okay, it sounded like, is there an intermission? Is there 2 sets, or what's the format?
I'd have to look at that night, but usually it's 2 sets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll come out, I'll open. Next thing you know, there are other people on stage. Next thing you know, it's just me. Now it's an intermission. Now here comes the band for 15 minutes. Now here I come back with the band. Encore, good night.
Wow, great. So, and it also, to me, you're describing it, it's almost like a house concert vibe.
Yeah, it should feel like that. I mean, we're sitting in chairs. I want them to feel like that I'm sitting in the living room. I'm talking to them. I'm introing songs. I'm joking with the band. I'm joking with the audience. It's an evening with, and again, it's important that they have a good time. That they
sure
we aren't up there, as they say, navel gazing. Here's another song from my diary that only I will understand. 1, 2, 3. We don't do that.
Yeah. Well, it's great to have the folks interact and.
We have a song that I do. It's funny where they come from. 50 Shades of Grey, that movie and the book.
Yeah.
It just took America by storm, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it sold really well in the Bible Belt. I don't know if it's true. It was on the internet.
Perfect.
But that's what I heard. That 50 Shades of Grey paperback.
That's cool.
Went nuts in the Bible Belt. I said, if that isn't a song, I don't know what is.
That's a keeper.
That's a keeper.
That's cool. So I would like to play that song, but we're kind of running out of time. I'd rather have you on, and then after the top of the hour, I can play that song if that works, if that works for you.
Terrific.
So tell me about Ben's band and Ben himself.
Ben came to me when he's 19 and said, "All right, I'm ready." I said, "I'm ready for what?" He said, "Remember a few years ago when you told me you'd teach me the guitar?" I said, "Yes." He goes, "Well, I'm ready." I said, "Okay." So I hear the blues, bum ba-dum ba-dum, and that was, he was 19. Now he's 33, and he hasn't had the guitar out of his hands since. And the band is a great bunch of musicians that Ben's been playing with for over 10 years, and it's a whole acoustic show. They do different kinds of shows, but this is like an acoustic version of. And it's just a thrill to turn it to Ben and just let him play the lead on a 4-string tenor national guitar from the 30s. And
nice.
Wesley Fritzmeyer's our mandolin fiddle player. Tommy's on bass and acoustic bass. And Amanda Daniels, my daughter-in-law, sings this show-stopping song called "Back When You Were Into Me," which we drop in about the middle of the set. It's pretty good stuff.
Wow, that sounds fantastic. We're talking with Jeff Daniels, and he and his son Ben and the band are performing on Wednesday, August 1st, 7 o'clock at the Spruce Peak Art Center in Stowe. For more information, you can go to sprucepeakarts.org, and it's called the Acoustic Sitting Tour. Tell why that title.
Well, that's the name of the album. We did this tour last October, November in the Upper Midwest, and we called it the Acoustic Sitting Tour because I frankly didn't want to stand up. So we got these big, huge, 35-pound, 4-part chairs that musicians sit in, and we carted those around like it was a herd of cattle. And so I went to a website that sells chairs for churches, and so I got 5 basic church chairs.
All right, and they made it onto the tour bus?
They made it. They got their own bunk. Yeah.
Strap them in, and you're in. That's cool. All right, so has this tour been going all summer, or what's the length of it?
We start Friday. We start in Toronto, and then go through the end of the month. And, but it's similar to we've been rehearsals since last week. We've been rehearsing it back up, and again, we toured this last fall, and with some adjustments and some few different things, we're able to just bring it back and take it out again.
Okay, and mostly original music, some covers, or what's the content?
I'm trying to think. There's in the set list right now. There's one cover that we play as a surprise, and everything else is original. Maybe one more at the encore. Depends which encore we do.
Okay.
If they even want an encore, we may be on the bus going home. I don't know.
Okay, great. So some more information, folks can go to jeffdaniels.com. That looks like mostly your music information there, or what's on the site there?
Yeah, it focuses on the music. I just have never let other people do the acting thing. This is the music is really important to me, so it drives people to the music, and that's all we deal with. They want to really look at the acting thing. They can, there are other places on the internet.
Right. That's kind of cool. That's like dear to your heart, and so your name is right there on that, and it's the music.
Yep.
That's so great. And so have you been to Vermont before? Someone told me that you made a movie here once, or...
I did. We made Sweetheart's Dance.
I'm
going to say 88, something like that.
Okay.
In Stowe.
Oh, cool.
Don Johnson, Susan Sarandon, Elizabeth Perkins, and me.
All right.
Yeah.
And
nice people, but the movie just...
Hopefully we'll have a better result with your show.
I remember there was some ice skating. There was an ice skating sequence because it was Vermont in winter and this and that. But we were shooting like in March or maybe even early April, and we still owed one more shot of, I think it was me, it might have been Don Johnson, ice skating on a pond. And I think we lost the pond, like the next morning.
It was probably mud season.
Oh my God! It was like he was like skating on a gravel road that could just give out beneath him because it was. I remember that.
The magic of the movies.
The magic.
Okay, Jeff. Thanks so much. We're just about out of time, but I want to run down the lineup again. Jeff Daniels and his son Ben are performing at the Spruce Peak Arts Center in Stowe, Vermont, Wednesday, August 1st at 7 o'clock. For more info, tickets, and everything you need is at sprucepeakarts.org. So, hey, Jeff, thanks for taking the time out today and stopping by the Getaway. Really appreciate it, WDEV. And when you get here, I'll say welcome to Vermont.
Thanks, Pitz.
You got it. All right, Jeff. Thank you so much.
Bye.